Second row should be Paul Redman. And it is in car 72. Alongside of him will be Justin Jenkins. Car 13 is Steve Cook, and outside of him is Lee Stephens with Neil Caldulas at the back, off and running. For Tony Hare, Neil Caldulas turns it around in the dipper for the first time, keeps the engine going and gets back in the action as the Super Streets arrive at the hairpin. Tony Hare leads from Robert Zielinski, back then to Paul Redman, who actually moves up one position, putting Robert Zielinski back to third. Next one through there would be Steve Cook in front of Justin Jenkins and Lee Stephens. Piled out to the rear. Tony Hare, the race leader, heads them up the main straightaway to the better of Paul Redman, who's chasing him pretty hard this time around. Robert Zielinski in car number 9, not far away, has a little look underneath Paul Redman, that time through the top corner. Back behind them we've got Steve Cook, then Justin Jenkins, and at the back is Lee Stephens as Neil Caldulas has had enough with Paul Redman. Still working hard, chasing Tony Hare, unable to close the gap on him, and Tony Hare streaks away down the back straightaway from Paul Redman. Back in third position is still Robert Zielinski. He's got his hands full now with Steve Cook right on his hammer. Back then to Justin Jenkins, Lee Stephens. Neil Caldulas rejoins the pack as Paul Redman gets the wobbles up coming off the top turn. Robert Zielinski goes to the inside and Paul Redman loses it in front of, I think it's Steve Cook. Brings on a yellow light and Cookie doesn't look all that and has found himself going to the back. Look for a green one and an immediate restart, which we get. Tony Hare. Robert Zielinski straight underneath him in the top corner. The two of them come together through the top corner. And Tony Hare might have been caught napping a little bit. Robert Zielinski is the new race leader. Tony Hare into position 2. The next one through there would be Steve Cook to the better of Justin Jenkins, Lee Stephens. Back then to Paul Redman and Neil Caldulas at the back. Down the back chute for Robert Zielinski in car number 9, leading the way from Tony Hare. Steve Cook tucked in there in position number 3 in car 13 in front of Justin Jenkins and Lee Stephens through the top corner, and Robert Zielinski starting to move away a little bit from Tony Hare through the hairpin. We've got Tony Hare now in doing battle with Steve Collins. Neil Caldulas in trouble in the hairpin, gets it going again. Lee Stephens have some problems with car number 4 as well, and may just motor around at the end to try and complete the journey. Robert Zielinski up the main straightaway. Tony Hare. Steve Cook in car 13. Lee Stephens has had enough and pulls it onto the infield. Justin Jenkins loses it a little as well on the top. Back on the infield he goes, and Paul Redman drives past, so he's gone back one position up the main straightaway. Robert Zielinski, putting a big gap in the field, has moved away from Tony Hare. Steve Cook, still interested in a second placing, is right on Tony Hare's hammer. Back then we've got Paul Redman to the better of Justin Jenkins, and Paul Redman has turned it around in the hairpin. Can he keep it going? No, the yellow lights are on. Gets it mobile, but too late. Well, Robert Zielinski caught each race at the restart. Brian Zielinski gets the jump from Tony Hare. Steve Cook, Justin Jenkins has a look down the inside. And Roberts, oh, we've got a big one. Robert Zielinski. I think it's Justin Jenkins, the other car, and Neil Kaldoulis in the brand new one. And it's bent pretty badly. And Roberts, oh, we've got a big one. Robert. And Tony Hare has been sent to the rear. The checkered flag is showing, so we'll just wait and see. Oh, what a real mess and what a real shame for Neil Kaldoulis. Brand new motor car, and it's destroyed in the back end. We'll wait and see whether the race has actually been given to Robert Zielinski. So that's it, folks. Thanks for your attendance on the mountain. We've got a little bit of cleaning up to do over there with Robert Zielinski's car, but he will win the feature event for Super Streets from Steve Cook and Justin Jenkins.